Hi, welcome to Biology classes with Lakshmi Chandra. In today's session, we'll deal with termination in prokaryotic translation. So how it terminates. So far we were dealing with a series of sessions with this particular topic, that is translation in prokaryotes, wherein I have introduced the key players as the different members of a cinema, like mRNA being a heroine, tRNA being the hero, and their job is to synthesize proteins, and for that they have set up a factory named as ribosome, and there are enzymes in various factors, initiation, elongation and release factors, which is aiding them, which is helping them in this process of protein synthesis. And how they have set up the factory, how they have brought in the first amino acid and the next one, and how the peptide bond was formed. All these things were dealt with in the previous few sessions. The link for those sessions are mentioned in the description, so you may please go through that for having a clarity. Fine, now we have come on to the end of this particular session, that is the climax of cinema, I can say, that is termination. After they have done their job, what happens? Let's focus. So here in termination, the key players are release factors. Instead of termination factor, we use the word release factors. So let me just tell you how the factory is now. The ribosome is the factory here. Ribosome, small subunit, is having an E site, a P site and an A site. It is at the P site where the first tRNA comes with its anticodon loop attached to the codon, and the codon here is AUG, the initiator AUG over here, and so the first tRNA comes with the amino acid called as FMET, formyl methionine amino acid. Only the first amino acid will be formilated, rest of the amino acids will be normal amino acid. Next, after this is done, the large subunit comes and binds. Okay, so this I am just telling you in a nutshell as a quick recap. Here there are other processes in between of this. You can have detailed in the, so you can just view the previous sessions to get the details. And then comes the next tRNA, and it actually binds to the codon in the A site. So codon is a triplet, we have to draw only 3 lines for that. Okay, and then the corresponding amino acid will be here. I am putting it as amino acid 1. And then the large subunit of ribosome is having this activity, peptidyl transferase activity, and because this enzyme is present, peptidyl transferase enzyme is present in the large subunit, there happens peptide bond formation, and for this energy is required, which is given by GTP, and that also we have learned in detail when I taught you this elongation factors area, how the GTP is coming, who is bringing it, and then what happens to the GTP here and all. So once this bond is formed with the help of peptidyl transferase enzyme, this bond is broken, and then for all these things to happen, we have the mRNA over here, which is here in the 5' direction and here at the 3' end. Now the enzyme translocase comes and it translocates the mRNA as well as the tRNA towards the left side, towards the 5' area. So what happens? The first tRNA is here, the next tRNA is in the P site, the third site, that is A site, is free, where another tRNA comes and binds and the elongation happens. And I told you, till how long will this elongation happen? It will happen till the stop codons are reached. The stop codons. And we are familiar with these stop codons. It is UAA, UAG, and you just switch this over. It is UGA. These are the 3 stop codons. Okay, the 3 stop codons. It is, you call it as ochre, amber and opal. These are the names. This is just for your understanding. I have put these names. Usually we say this UAA, UAG and UGA. These are the 3 stop codons. So as the ribosome is moving forward, or I can say as the mRNA we are pulling it towards this side, it is keeping on going to different codons, and ultimately these codons will come. And these codons are immediately recognized by the release factors. Okay, and for that also I have to have a clarity. I should give a clarity to you. Release factor 1 has got the capacity to recognize UAA and UGA. Yes, the stop codon has reached. It is a UAA or a UGA that is recognized by release factor 1. Release factor 2 can also recognize UAA, but it is recognizing UGA as well. So UAA can be recognized by release factor RF1 and RF2, but RF1 is specific for UAG and RF2 is highly specific for UGA. So once it recognizes that yes, the end has come, okay, we have met our demand, whatever protein we need, the amino acids are all joined together and we have prepared the protein. Now they are satisfied. Now end has come, we have to take a rest and then we have to go for further things. Fine. So everything should get a rest. All these key players, all these members in the factory should get a rest, little bit rest. So the stop codon reaches there, it reaches UAA, UAG or UGA. When it encounters any of these stop codons, what happens is another factor comes called as RRF, ribosome recycling factor. Okay, ribosome recycling factor. This factor, along with the factor called as elongation factor G, this we have learned in detail when we learned about elongation. So there is this elongation factor G is there, along with EFG, RRF, both together does this process. There is a dissociation of ribosomal subunits. The 2 subunits are together, this gets disassociated. When this RF1, RF2, they come across this UAA or UGA or UAG, that is the stop codons, immediately the message is sent to this RRF and EFG, then they will come and disassociate the 2 subunits. Now see the role of RF3. This RF3 is actually enhancing the functioning of RF1 and RF2 by providing energy to them, by providing this GTP. It is having GTPase activity. GTPase means GTP is broken down, that is ACE, it is broken down into GDP. It is providing energy. With that energy it is fueling the RF1 and RF2 to go and recognize it. As soon as it recognizes, message is passed on to RRF and EFG, and then the 2 subunits of the protein, they just disassemble. So as they disassemble with the help of this GTP and all, with the energy, protein synthesis stops there and all the members are now taking rest. So that is termination of translation in prokaryotes. Hope in the series of translation topics that I have taken in prokaryotes, it was very clear to you. So all the links which are related to this translation in prokaryotes, you can find it in the description. Go through that, and if you have any doubts or any clarity I have to bring in, you can just suggest it. Feel free to comment on my channel. Take care all of you. Thank you.